if dreadful things happened in your past, the memory of your past becomes relatively insignificant. Yes, you remember it, but the wonderful thing about your past, it has brought you to this point of awakening. No matter how senseless it seemed at the time, because every life is kind of messy and many things seem, why did this happen to me? Why did I do that? That was so stupid. Or why did this have to happen to me? My childhood could have been happy. It was so unhappy. Why did this? But all your past it brings you to this point of awakening. But it no longer gives you an identity. You recognize it, you acknowledge it, you know it, but you no longer derive your sense of who you are from your past. That comes from a deeper place. You can sense the presence that you are, the being that you are, not conditioned by your past whatsoever. And this is especially liberating if you have a very heavy past. If dreadful things happened in your past, it is especially liberating to sense that. And it's often people who have had a very difficult life that come to this realization. They have had their crucifixion, and then there comes the transcendence of suffering. So be thankful for all the suffering that has brought you to this point. It's brought you here. That's amazing. Awakening. Does it mean that from now on life will not be challenging anymore? No. The challenges continue. But they may be of a somewhat different kind, no longer produced by the dysfunction of the egoic mind, as is often the case with many humans. But still, challenges come in many forms. The difference is, as you become increasingly rooted in the being of yourself, the transcendent self, not the being, the challenges are no longer converted into suffering. So there's no longer a personality that complains about what's happening to me. The challenges are simply accepted for what they are. Action is taken if action is necessary or possible. No action is taken, a simple surrender happens when a challenge comes and there isn't really anything you can do. Then that's what is. And then once you reach this point, every challenge can deepen. If it's a real challenge, it deepens your state of consciousness. It makes you more present. And that is a wonderful thing when you've reached that point. And also the challenge that happens to you individually, anything going wrong in your life, a breakup, loss of a job, loss of home, a death from someone close to you, a court case or whatever threat. Some people become more unconscious when they're being challenged by life, more reactive, more deeply entrenched in their conditioning, in the ego. Why are people, they get so attached to the outcome, result, it really pulls them down. A challenge can make you unconscious or more conscious, depending where you are at. And some people, through the pandemic, have become more present. They have accepted, they have had perhaps been affected in different ways, financially, or jobs, or life situation, or relationships have been affected by it. All kinds of things have happened. And some people have been able to use that and go more into being. Sometimes there wasn't that much doing anymore, you had to go more into being. And others have become more reactive and more angry and more fearful. So that's it. They continue to come, but just the greater the challenge, the greater the intensity of presence. I've often found that in other situations in my life too, when the challenges come, you go more. So there's no longer a person that reacts to what's happening. There's just the beingness, just the presence, just the consciousness.